I have painted the moon 5 times. Only 2 of the paintings started from photographs. The other 3 are entirely from my imagination, put together from observations, memory, instinct, and decisions about what a painter decides belongs in an image. The hidden moon is the only one where the moon must be found rather than seen. The canyon walls, the receding valley, the last warm light of a fading day all draw the eye forward and away from the horizon where the moon waits. Most viewers look for several seconds before they find it. The moment they do, the painting changes entirely. This is the same principle that governs everything I teach about observation. We move through the world looking for what we expect to find. The moon is large and bright and obvious, so we look for something large, bright, and obvious. But in this painting, the moon is small, pale, and nearly dissolved into the warm amber glow of sunset at the horizon. You have to look for it the way a painter looks, without assumption, without expectation, attending to what is actually there. The technical challenge is the color temperature transition from warm amber at the horizon to the deeper, cool blue-purple overhead. Gradual enough to feel natural, dramatic enough to give the painting the emotional range. Finding the moon is a small pleasure, a reward for looking carefully. That is exactly what it is meant to be. The beauty of our sister world was the last painting in the Moon Mood series, and in some ways the most unusual. It is the only painting set in daylight rather than darkness. The moon here is not the dominant light source. It is present, luminous, watching, but the sky around it is the pale blue of a clear afternoon, not the deep blue or black of night. This creates a quality of stillness and otherworldliness that the night paintings cannot achieve. It is a moon as a companion rather than a spectacle. The technical challenge is the inverse of what you might expect. Painting a glowing moon against a dark sky is difficult, but painting a moon that reads as luminous against a light sky is harder. It cannot rely on surrounding darkness to appear bright. It must glow through color temperature alone, slightly warmer and more golden than the cool blue of the surrounding sky. There is no reference photograph for this painting. Every decision, the rocky outcroppings, the angle of recession, the color of the sky, the quality of moonlight fracturing across the water, was made by asking the same question I ask before every painting. What does the image need to be complete and beautiful? The harvest moon, the darkest canvas by a significant margin. The moon rises red-orange in the upper left, large and commanding and slightly unsettling in its color. The mountains below are dark and largely undifferentiated, their forms barely distinguishable from the sky behind them. The still water in the foreground holds the reflection. And here is the technical decision that gives this painting its unease. The reflected moon is deliberately painted slightly different in color and slightly smaller than the moon above. This is true to how water reflection actually works, and it creates a subtle wrongness, the feeling that the world reflected is not quite the world above it. Viewers often cannot identify exactly what disturbs them about the lower half of the painting, but it is this. Look carefully at the darkness around the lake, and you will find 3 houses with faint light showing in their windows. The ancient, threatening harvest moon is also a moon under which people are living. They looked up at it with wonder and something like fear, and then went back inside and lit the lamps against the dark. Moonbow on a cloudy wintry evening is the first painted from a photograph rather than pure imagination. A friend in Louisville photographed a winter night sky with a full moon burning through storm clouds, its golden halo spreading onto or into the surrounding darkness. It was a kind of sky that stops you where you stand. What I painted is not that photograph. The cloud formations are different. The scale of the moon is different. The bare winter tree silhouetted at the lower left, a strong compositional element anchoring the entire canvas. I changed it from the original photograph. I needed it there, so I put it there, but much less obvious than in the photograph. The technical challenge is one of the most demanding in the series. How do you paint a moon that glows brighter than the storm clouds surrounding it against a background that is already nearly light? The solution is not to paint the moon brighter. It is to deepen the surrounding sky just enough that the contrast does the work. The moon does not need to be whiter, it needs the darkness around it to be darker. The photograph gave me the emotional truth. Everything else was a decision. Tropical moonrise, the most immediately beautiful of the series, where harvest moon is ancient and threatening, and the hidden moon is quiet and searching. The tropical moon is simply generously beautiful. It is a moon of memory, not a particular memory, but the kind you carry with you, a composite of every warm night near water you have ever experienced, distilled into a single image. The central technical challenge is the moonlight reflection on the water, how moonlight breaks and reassembles across the uneven surface. The reflection is not a single stripe of white, it is a series of stripes, each slightly different in width, value, and color temperature, that together create impression of light dancing across moving water. The stripes closest to the horizon are narrower and more defined. As they approach the foreground, they become broader and more broken and warmer because the water surface angle changes as it approaches the viewer, revealing more of the reflected light source. The canvas is portrait orientation, which allows the moonlight path to travel the full length of the composition from horizon to foreground, giving the viewer the feeling of standing at the water's edge with the light coming directly toward them. The camera cannot make these paintings. A camera records what is there. These paintings are the result of decisions, what to keep, what to change, what to assemble from multiple sources, what to invent entirely. The moon has no mood of its own. The painter brings everything. These 5 paintings will be at the Core Gallery in Louisville in early 2027. If you want to learn to bring your own vision to a landscape, subscribe. We begin with learning to see and to decide.